A lovely setting at Chesterley Street, an action of course for day 3. Durham of course had now formed one of the best grounds in the country, and on this hot sultry day it was opponents Yorkshire though hoping to make it hot for the home side. 5 wickets down overnight and Durham very much second best so far. Borthwick and Pringle opened up for Durham while Yorkshire used Sidebottom and spinner Rashid in the bowling armoury. Pringle produced the first boundary, a sweep to square leg off Rashid, and Borthwick hit Sidebottom for back-to-back boundaries, confirming his good form from previous weeks. In the next over, he edged Sidebottom through the slips for a boundary. He added one further run to reach his 50 with 8 fours, and for a time the pair became becalmed, but Pringle ended that with a 4 through the leg side of Patterson. Bresnham and Patterson now teamed up with the ball, and after finding the edge of the bat, Bresnham struck, removing Borthwick for 54, caught behind by Bairstow. Durham 169 for 6. Next delivery, Big John Hastings gone, caught behind again by Bairstow, again off Bresnham, who was having a wonderful match. A juggling catch for Bairstow, 2-2 for Bresnham at this stage. Harrison joined Pringle and found the boundary early on. Rashid returned and Pringle blasted him through mid-wicket to bring him his 50. A further boundary followed. 111 balls, 9 fours for that half century for Pringle. Brooks was introduced into the attack and after being hit for a 4, he clean bowled Harrison all ends up, stumps all over the place. Rushworth got 2 runs, but then was another victim of Brooks as Bairstow took the catch behind, and Yorkshire were now on the roll as Pringle tried to farm the strike to protect last man Onions. The plan worked for a time, but then it fell apart as Onions was trapped LBW to Rashid for naught. Durham 208 all out, in deficit by 349, a huge margin. Pringle not out 69 and Bresnham probably the pick of the bowlers with 3 for 40. The follow-on was enforced by Andrew Gale and Durham openers Jennings and Stoneman picked up some quick runs to reach 33 for no wicket at the first interval. But Yorkshire in a great position and pushing for another win. Durham started the second session 316 behind. Jennings immediately cut Sidebottom for 2 through cover point, and Stoneman also drove Sidebottom to the ropes for the leg side. Stoneman continued to impress, sending Bresnham to the boundary. The 50 came up in the 13th over in 52 minutes, but Bresnham troubled Stoneman, but Jennings hit back-to-back boundaries off Jack Brooks. Will Rhodes was introduced in partnership with Brooks, and Stoneman picked up runs to go to his 57 fours for the opener. Jennings clipped Brooks to mid-wicket for 4. The pitch was flattening out a bit and wickets were becoming harder to obtain as Durham went to 95 for no wicket. Jennings had the distinction of hitting a 4 to take Durham past the 100 mark. The afternoon partnership at this stage quite fruitful for Durham and a little bit frustrating for Yorkshire. Stoneman led the way run-wise while Jennings dug in. But then Yorkshire inserted more pressure around the bat and Jennings succumbed, caught close in by Leeds off the impressive Rashid for 41, 116 for 1. Borthwick arrived and a bit to go at the mark, he was nearly run out. Rhodes threw the stumps, missing and going for 4 overthrows, but it was a silly run by Borthwick getting home in the end. Rashid was bowling really well and creating problems for the batsman. He dropped short to Borthwick and he was clattered to the leg side boundary, but on other occasions he was spinning the ball and making life difficult. But then Borthwick played a really rash shot and was caught behind by Bairstow, passing for 11, 129 for 2. Collingwood came in and got underway with a 4, but Durham still had work to do to save the game. They're 134 for 2, Stoneman 75, the captain Collingwood is on 4, and the deficit 215. Yorkshire opened up the final session with Bresnham and Rashid bowling. Stoneman and Collingwood began confidently as they tried to make serious inroads into the considerable deficit. Stoneman pulled Bresnham for 6 to go into the 90s, and Collingwood, the captain, took advantage of a short delivery from Rashid to produce another boundary. But Rashid was not to be denied, getting Collingwood caught by Bresnham at slip for 20. Durham 168 for the loss of 3 wickets. Stoneman continued to push towards his 100 and Richardson drove Rashid to the boundary as well, and when Rashid dropped short, Stoneman took advantage to cut it to the boundary to bring up his ton. 155 balls with 13 fours and 1 6. Seems to like playing against Yorkshire, always seems to get runs against them. Richardson continued to play his shots, and Stoneman did have a moment of luck, edging a side-bottom delivery away for runs when it could have hit his stumps. The return of pace bowler Jack Brooks brought a reward, as with his second ball he had Richardson caught at the wicket for 29, 213 for 4, a fine catch this one from Johnny Bairstow. Mutchell came to the crease and hit Brooks through mid-off for 4, and further runs came before the close, as the pair tried to bring the deficit down and did it quite well. So at the close, Durham in the second innings, the follow-on innings at 244 for 4, Stoneman 116, Mutchell 21, the deficit still 105.